Welcome and thank you for joining. My name is John Varai and I'm the Lead Product Marketing Manager for Launch by Adobe. In this demo, I'm going to show you the power of extensions in Launch. But before I get into the demo, I think it will be helpful to understand what makes Launch unique. And to understand that, we need to understand what legacy tag managers have to offer. Legacy tag managers offer superficial integrations that can turn marketing technologies on and off. Launch goes far beyond this. At its core, Launch is a if-then statement creator. If certain events happen under certain conditions, then take certain actions. Launch allows any technology provider to add new events, data types, conditions, and actions, so integrations go deeper than configuration screens to truly unifying the data and functionality of the marketing technology ecosystem. In this demo, I'm going to showcase a few extensions and show how Launch makes it easy to deploy, configure, and unify the data and functionality behind those extensions. To get started, let's begin by deploying Adobe Analytics. To do that, we select Install and we populate these three fields, which are the Development, Staging, and Production Report Suite IDs. And then we select Save. Let's say you have quite a bit of video content on your web property and you've chosen YouTube to be the medium to deploy that content. We can scroll down and install the YouTube extension. You'll notice that there's no configuration necessary at this point. Let's also say that you're a B2B company and you leverage Dun & Bradstreet. Dun & Bradstreet has created the D&B Visitor Intelligence extension to take advantage of all of their rich firmographic data. To take advantage of this extension, simply insert your API key here and select Save. And lastly, let's say you do quite a bit of Facebook marketing. Deploying the Facebook pixel in Launch is easy. Simply select the Install button and insert the pixel ID here. And then select Save. And now that we've deployed these four extensions, let's see how these extensions can actually add new types of data directly to Launch. We'll do that by going to the Data Elements portion of the user interface and clicking Create New Data Element. Let's say you're interested in understanding whether or not a visitor is from a Fortune 1000 company. You'll notice that there's this extension drop-down menu, and when I click on this button, the D&B Visitor Intelligence extension shows up. And when I select that, you'll notice that Dun & Bradstreet has added all of these different data types directly into Launch. So for the purposes of this demo, we want to understand the Fortune 1000 data type. So you'll notice that here, I'm selecting from the D&B Visitor Intelligence extension Fortune 1000. I'm taking this information and mapping it to the Fortune 1000 data element within Launch. I'll click Save and move over to the Rules portion of the user interface, and we'll take advantage of the data element that we just created. To create a rule, we simply select Create New Rule and we name it here. And then we start building our if-then statement, beginning by events in the if portion of this statement. In the past, it's been very difficult to understand video behavior, but you'll notice that when I select the YouTube extension, that the engineers who built the YouTube extension have added four new event types, namely time played. When I select time played, you'll notice that I have the ability to specify which video player plays for a certain duration. Let's say I want to understand when video 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 has played for 20% of its duration. Doing this using the YouTube extension is very straightforward. It's also important to note that what you see on the right-hand side was built by the engineers who developed the YouTube extension, not Adobe engineers. Launch has been developed to ensure that we don't get in the way of the community adding value directly to you. I'll go ahead and click Keep Changes here, and then I'll go to Conditions and take advantage of some new functionality in Launch, which is the value comparison condition type. Remember the data element that we created earlier, the Fortune 1000 data element? What we're going to do here in the condition part of this rule is to say that this rule should only fire when the Fortune 1000 data element evaluates as true. And that will essentially allow us to send data and to deliver an experience specifically to these users who are coming from Fortune 1000 domains. I'll come down to the actions portion, and let's say we want to send that information to Adobe Analytics. We can select the Adobe Analytics extension and select Set Variables under Action Type, and then we identify which variable inside of Adobe Analytics we want to map to the Fortune 1000 data element that we created earlier. But let's say we not only need this information within Adobe Analytics, but we also need this information within Facebook. We'll select the Facebook extension and notice that the Facebook extension has also added new action types. We want to send a lead event and then once again take the Fortune 1000 data element that we're sending to Adobe Analytics and also send that to Facebook. So you can see here how we're really unifying data across Adobe Analytics and Facebook in a single user interface. Extensions don't just allow us to add and to send data to different places, but it can actually impact the experience that a user is going through in real time. For example, if we click on extensions, you'll notice that the YouTube extension has added a new action type, which gives us the ability to dynamically, in real time, add a new video player into the experience. So I select the video ID and the position on the page that I want this video to be injected in, and select Keep Changes. So now just to recap, we installed 4 different extensions, recreated one data element that's looking for Fortune 1000 companies coming from Dun & Bradstreet. We took that data element and brought that over into rules, and we're looking for a specific video that has played for 20% of its duration, that was seen by someone from a Fortune 1000 company, and when this evaluates as true, we're sending that information to Adobe Analytics, to Facebook, and we're initiating a new video to be injected into the customer experience in real time. Integrations in Launch aren't just configuration windows that allow you to turn a technology on and off. Integrations in Launch run deep, and they allow you to break down data silos and to truly unify functionality between different technologies, technologies owned by Adobe and technologies not owned by Adobe.